was a crash out that we all waited for. And then after watching it, I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah. The benefit of hindsight is there's so many episodes that you kind of forget about it a little bit.
Right? And it's such a long season that they'll be okay.
Everything's going to turn out just fine.
Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows. Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Bros and Shows. I am your co-host, Steele Russell, joined as always by the one and only Fabulous Goots. What's up, dude?
Well, as you can see, I'm in a very relaxed position.
Have to make sure the mic's picking up your voice.
Oh, it definitely is.
Carry on.
Right? All right, cool. No, I don't know what it is. Something about this show, it's just got
Relaxing?
me feeling good, yeah. It is relaxing because you know that there are people like this out there that exist, that live their lives in this crazy world, and I have nothing to do with it, and I just get to watch it unfold.
Would you ever consider, let's say 10 years ago, and they approach you and say, Shooter Magooter, we would love to have you on Love Island. Would
1,000%.
Would you do it?
1,000,000%.
Okay.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah, I figured.
I could handle this shit.
Oh, yeah? Oh, my God.
I don't know what they can and can't do because there are like certain stipulations, certain rules, but like watching the Huda crash out and watching people handle it in different ways, I feel like I would go about it so differently because I wouldn't give a shit. Like, just like you're talking about how Huda shouldn't be this attached to Jeremiah, you guys shouldn't be this attached to Huda and her feelings. If she's crashing out and it's affecting the rest of the house, tell her how it is. Like, I'm not talking about in a vote out thing. I'm not talking about in a challenge or anything like that. Stand on business.
Someone needs to sit her ass down and tell her what's up.
Sit her ass down and tell her, you're bumming us out, bro. Enough.
Big time. And that actually kind of concerned me.
Yeah.
Until we get to episode 14 and obviously how that ends. We'll wait to quote unquote spoil it because people get upset if we spoil too early in the episode. But that's something that sort of concerns me a little bit because I wanted to crash out, obviously. I wanted the fallout. I wanted to watch everything that happened. But it seemed like there was a perfect chronological order for this to go in. And it didn't go that way. And now I'm concerned that this rapidly growing bummer is going to continue to be a bummer.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster. Not that crazy of a roller coaster. There's not going to be some really high highs and really low lows. Mostly just lows.
A lot of lows.
Will even out, and there will be little moments here and there where it is funny again. But I'm with you, and I feel like, again, right after, like when the feelings were fresh, when the emotions were still there after episode 13, which was, I guess, Monday night, I did start to wonder, like, is she crashing out because of what's going on with the vote? Is Jeremiah doing this? Like, is this girl somewhat normal and somewhat, like, okay, but now because of what she's been through, she's crashing out and it's getting concerning? Or is she just like this? And when we first watched that episode, I'm like, fuck, like, we had a role to play in this. This is what we wanted. We all really don't like her. What are we going to do about this? It's kind of uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
And then after watching episode 14, I'm like, no, I really do genuinely think that she's like this all the time. I think this is how she goes through probably every relationship.
But that's where it gets concerning because the tweet episode's coming up. She's going to see that everyone's talking shit about her.
Well, I will say, actually, since you brought up the tweet episode, just because I was monitoring our questions, there was a really good one which actually kind of fits in for right now. So I'll ask this to you.
Wow, a preemptive question.
A preemptive question. This is the first time. This is unprecedented for Bros and Shows.
This is the first time this has ever happened.
I've never seen this before.
Holy shit.
What are we going to do? God, and then the worst part is I probably can't even find it. Nope, there it is. From Jacqueline Dean, your preferred sequence of events out of Huda's departure, the tweet challenge, and Casa Amor.
Oh. I mean, she's going to see it no matter what. So I kind of want to see
Boys don't
her
have
see
to
it.
go to Casa Amor. They do get the option of staying if they want to.
Okay.
So does that might change things a little bit.
As far as Casa Amor goes, like, here's the thing. She's not going to have another match with this current crew. Like, it's just not going to happen.
No.
is there a world in which she gets back into the game and enjoys herself a little bit and we all kind of move on from this? I don't know.
Maybe.
But that's where the question mark of Casa Amor comes in because, I mean, I'm going to reach a limit with this shit.
Yeah.
Like, she's going to get on my nerves to the point where I'm like, she's fucking up the show. She was close in episode 14.
Episode 14, I found her and Jeremiah's stuff boring.
Me too.
I was actually kind of over it.
So
I wasn't like, I didn't get to the point where I was just irritated. It was more, I'm checking out.
Oh, see, I was
all
irritated.
right, can we like, it's affecting the whole house and not in a good way.
That's what I mean.
They're all talking about the same thing. They're not really exploring each other's connections. They're all just kind of stagnant.
Stuck.
We need to shake it up somehow. Maybe what happens at the end of episode 14 shakes it up enough and we can kind of move on a little bit, but it doesn't seem like we do because we get scenes for tomorrow night, which is more of the same. So yeah. I think my ideal sequence of events there for what Jacqueline was just asking us, I think it would probably be the tweet challenge, then Huda leaves, then Casa Amor. So that way the tweet challenge, Huda can see, hey, America actually really doesn't like you.
Yeah.
This isn't whatever you're spinning this into, which we see in episodes 13 and 14.
It's crazy.
So she can get that, and everybody in the house can see that as well, because they're all kind of figuring it out on their own, but they don't know for sure. Here's your evidence. Everybody's really against Huda. They don't really like Jeremiah, but really it's just Huda. Move past that, send her home, and then we can kickstart a little restart with Casa Amor.
Yeah, I don't hate that timeline. Again, for me, it's going to be whether or not this runs its course before we get to that point. And it very well might, because I agree. Where you were bored, I was annoyed because I'm like,
that's classic.
Jeremiah, I'm like, why are you going over and trying to make cutesy talk while she's working out? Like, just fucking drop it. Has she not given you enough reason to run the other way?
Yeah.
Her constantly going to other groups of people and talking about this stuff like they care when nobody does. They're rolling their eyes. Like the inability to read the room, that irritates me. The fact that each episode is being overtaken by this shit, it hasn't run its course yet. Mm-hmm. If this carries over into 15, 16, like that's when I'm going to get really pissed. So if there's a world, like I said, in which she can kind of move forward a little bit and do the tweet thing, then go to Casa Amor and then get the boot.
Yeah.
Cool. That seems like too much time for me.
It seems like a lot of time. And in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that much time because I do think the tweet challenge should be coming up pretty shortly.
Okay.
And then Casa Amor should be at some point next week or the week after. So within the next 2 weeks, it will be figured out. It's a lot of content. There is a lot of episodes in those next 2 weeks.
Yeah, hats off to the editors.
Which is tough to do. But I don't know. Even with Jeremiah, I find myself starting to feel bad for him, and then he does something, and I'm not even talking about like going over and being cutesy. That could just be, the product of a manipulative, toxic relationship where it's like, you're too deep in, bro.
He's toxic too.
He's very toxic, but he's not a bad dude.
No.
That's the difference.
He's bad in relationships.
He's feeding into the toxicity and he's providing toxicity. I still think Huda is way more toxic than him.
Agreed.
But it's not really, all right, this is just a poor guy who got caught in a Venus flytrap.
Well, no, he sprays cologne on Huda's
Exactly.
bed.
As soon as that happened, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, it's bizarre.
So, yeah, it's...
Granted,
all anybody's talking about.
She called him a bitch and all these other things in the shower.
Yeah, but that's
not justifying
that's the thing.
cologne.
We haven't even gotten into the episode yet. We're still just doing general overview. But in the beginning of this episode, in episode 13, we still get to watch the fallout where now Huda knows how people feel about her.
Not really.
Not really. She's still in denial. She still thinks, and I guess somebody said it at some point. Alandria was kind of walking around.
But how much of
about
that
how
was
America
genuine and how much of that is the girls trying to just make her feel better? Because they're not
think it's
privy.
mostly. So this is the problem too. None of the girls, because the guys have stood up. Nick and Ace stood up right to her face and said that it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Didn't really do a whole lot to her. The girls are still coddling her, and I think they're afraid to be looked at as like, we don't want to be bullies. We want to try to be a girl's girl as much as possible. We don't really know what's going on. There is a possibility because they're not privy to what we see, that America's seeing something else, that Jeremiah is going and talking to the guys and just kind of like just brushing you off and talking about you in bad light, and they're trying to save you. We don't really know. It's a bad relationship. We want to break you guys up.
For sure.
But we don't necessarily want you out of the villa yet. And that's the problem, that they're not getting to that point. And that's the real big sticking point at the end of episode 14. So like,
big question mark.
yeah, and you just referenced her in the shower. Jeremiah got so much shit for not stopping to talk to her.
We're not checking on her.
Yeah, don't check. Like, he's not checking on her. He's not doing anything. He's just kind of like flabbergasted. He's like, I don't really know what to do. I got to go talk to my boys. I got to sit by myself. Huda also like didn't go over to Jeremiah. Like you guys are both really going through it. Like, yeah, you were close to going home, but like,
But yeah, Jeremiah also has a couple.
yeah,
Like she does. Here's my thing. All right. Here's my thing
I
with.
think he's afraid of her.
I think everyone's afraid of her,
Yeah.
and I think rightfully so. But here's my thing with it. Should he have gone to check on her and see if she was okay? Yes. In a situation that he actually likes her.
Yeah.
What bothers me is he doesn't go check on her. Fast forward to the next night, and they go to the speakeasy to have a conversation. And he's like, I'm sorry I didn't check on you. And then they sit there for hours talking about nothing. And I'm like, dude, you should know if you are in a place the day prior where like your brain doesn't even resonate that, hey, maybe you should go check on her. That should tell you everything you need to know. We've had all of these moments. Nick coming to you and saying that she's fraudulent and Nick saying other things and all of these little hints that have gone throughout this toxic 10-day relationship.
Yeah.
His inability to see that and make a conscious decision bothers the shit out of me.
Yeah.
It's like the writing's on the wall. It's on all of the walls.
Yeah.
Fucking in neon lights on the wall. It says, dude, get a clue. Like, let's fucking go. It just bothers me.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. And look, I mean, they are both going through it because, it's not really just Jeremiah going to like sit by himself. He's also now confronting all the dudes. Like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
What are you guys seeing? Like, how do you feel about this? And these are his friends. These are guys, and maybe not Ace. Ace has, been trying to separate them for a while and made it even more confusing at the end of episode 14. But when it comes to Nick has really just been trying to help Jeremiah. And also he's getting to his wit's end. All the things that they're saying are so true. They're sitting there talking about how you just fell into this. Like, you do need to branch out. Like, it's toxic. It's affecting the rest of the house. All the things that they said. Jeremiah has to go through all of that. So it's like, yeah, all the people in the house are pretty much telling you that you're wrong and you shouldn't be with her. He's not going to go check on her. He's going to go try to figure it out.
Agreed. But even in the conversation with the boys, and I get that he's defensive because of what just happened, but standing there while these guys are, one, questioning the relationship, two, questioning you, where they're like, this doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The fact that day one, now you're closed off, you're only going to talk to her. And both of their defense multiple times is like, it's Love Island, we're here to find love. Like, what, am I supposed to not explore a real connection? It's like the whole point that everyone's trying to make is that we don't believe that you have a real connection. We believe that it felt good, you both were on the same page, and you shut yourselves off so that you could make a push to win the game. And you wouldn't want to look anywhere else. And that's bullshit. That's what Ace says to his face. Like, that's bullshit, and I'm not playing that shit anymore.
I come back to the mom and dad comment. I think that's exactly what it is. I think they're both in their own ways thinking, hey, we coupled up day one, and we have such a strong bond. A lot of it is protective on like Huda's part, talking to people like Iris, talking to the other girls in the house about how great their connection is and how nobody's getting in. But we're not like, we're really close to closed off.
We're not closed off yet. Don't fucking talk to him.
You fucking even look in his direction. And it's more Huda doing the whole mom and dad thing. It's like, I know what you're painting. You're painting this picture of you guys are perfect. And you just went to a vote in which we're all watching and said, fuck that. No. And you don't know what to do. You guys are spiraling. So that's what's happening there. On the other side, Austin is fed up with Ace and the triangle. He doesn't like Ace. He clocked Ace pretty quickly. Sitting down with Jeremy. He needs a friend. Charlie's gone. Poor Charlie.
Well, Austin,
Charlie's out.
What was funny to me, and then we'll talk about Charlie eventually, but Austin goes to Ace, and I think somebody had said it before, or Austin's going to Jeremiah, sorry. I don't feel like Ace is the ringleader of the dudes. I don't get, you do?
Yeah.
I feel like...
Dude, think about Pancakes and Pong.
I get that, where he's like directing those little...
He's got all the guys doing it for him.
But I haven't seen a lot of moments where like he's making a bold statement and they're just unequivocally following him.
I think they tend to agree with what he's saying. I think he was the... He was the initiator of going after Jeremiah and Huda.
But that
and I think
needed to
everybody else
happen.
started to realize, like, oh yeah, you're onto something right now.
That's good that
It
that
did need to happen. Yeah, no, it definitely is. But the way that he talks and the way that other people like kind of flock to him, he's sort of ringleader-ish.
No, I do think
Ace Island is what Austin said, which was kind of funny.
I guess that's my point. I do think that, he has a leadership role in the house. I don't think it's to the point where he's manipulating situations.
I don't
And,
think he's
the way that
manipulating.
Austin paints it is like, they're just going to follow Ace wherever he goes. I was like, I don't really get that vibe from anybody.
No, I think that Ace is probably just the most like boisterous in the house.
Yeah, and I do think, like I said, he does have a leadership role.
Yeah.
I just don't see it as he's saying jump and they're saying how high thing.
Not necessarily. Maybe with Taylor, because he did sit Taylor down like 4 times. He's like, "This is what happens. You got to fucking step up.
Fucking step up, dude.
You put yourself in this position. America did this to you. What are you gonna do?"
I felt
it's like motivational coach.
Vindicated. I felt so vindicated
Why?
by the end of episode 14.
Oh yeah, it's not gonna last.
That's what everyone said before.
But yeah, so Ace, Austin just needs a friend. He flocks to Jeremiah immediately. He's like, I don't really,
Nobody likes you.
really
so-
like these guys that much. I really don't like Ace because of the whole triangle. I think that'll change moving forward. But sitting down with Jeremiah is just like, thank God I got you, man. It's like I
Yeah.
haven't seen you guys talk yet.
I saw him talk once on the beanbag chairs.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like an opportunistic friendship of sorts to where Austin's like, I just gonna go talk to Jeremiah because he's sad and Charlie's gone, so I'm sad. By the way, the Charlie scene was sad. That was just sad.
Charlie's scene was devastating.
It was so sad. And
Immediately taken away by the next episode.
well, that was the funny thing, dude, because as I'm sitting there watching, and obviously Hannah didn't leave with Charlie, which she shouldn't have. Like, she should ride this thing out. But the minute she starts to bounce back, like when they go on the dates the following day, I'm like, and R.I.P. Charlie.
Yeah.
Like he's in a bar somewhere getting blacked out, thinking about the one that got away.
Yeah.
And she's riding a boat with Pepe, smiling ear to ear.
Yeah.
That's just funny.
It was very quick how that all happened. And for everybody out there who's wondering what's going on with Charlie, Love Island did say he hasn't gotten his phone back. So we talked about this a little bit on our news episode yesterday because it is pertinent to what we're talking about. There were pictures of him spotted at a mall, and somebody said that looks like Atlanta's mall. Maybe he's in Atlanta. He's not back in the U.S.
Nope.
He is still in Fiji. Still hasn't gotten his phone back.
So, Casa More, perhaps?
More,
So
perhaps.
the first thing is After Sun.
Yeah, so After Sun on Saturday, which Paige will be back for. Again, we talked about that on our news episode. She'll be there on Saturday. If
been in a heat
Charlie's in it, we're not really sure. Nobody's also really heard from Beldasha. She was on After Sun last week as well. She could potentially, like, anybody
She
that
doesn't have
gets
her phone?
I don't know if she has her phone or not, but I know she did a podcast, so probably has her phone back, I would imagine.
There's no the way you make it sound is that they keep their phones forever.
Yeah, they do.
You're not what?
Locked in a lockbox, yeah.
They threw them in.
They threw them in the ocean.
sea.
Yeah, yeah. No, they're actually the reason that we haven't seen them is because they went to the other side of Fiji. They're on Survivor,
They're on Survivor now,
which
yeah.
we won't see until next year. So, good luck with that. But moving past all of the big commotion that happens after this, because obviously everybody wants to get their feelings out, Huda pulls Ace.
This is where, like, I'm like, all right, she's fucking nuts, and she knows what she's doing, and the way that she's able to regulate her emotions that quickly and have this conversation, and the way she's talking to Ace and the things that she's saying, I'm like, okay, you might be borderline, honestly, because she's sitting there talking to him, and she starts to find a route to take through this that is the victim mentality. And that is what she latches on to, like, so hard. And she then, and look, I might get some shit for saying this.
Nope, you're not from me, you're not.
I think she's weaponizing being a mom.
She's weaponizing sex. She's weaponizing being a mom. She's doing all of these things. These are all very triggering things in a toxic relationship and a manipulative relationship. She tried to do that with so many people. The move a while ago to go talk to Nick, we looked at it as, Okay, we'll take it for face value. You want to go talk to Nick so that Jeremiah has somebody to talk to about that. That's actually pretty considerate.
That's nice.
He doesn't have to sit there with that information on his own. He's going to, talk to Alandria. He can talk to Shelly, whatever.
I'm a mommy.
But he gets to go talk to Nick. So it's like, all right, that's actually a pretty good move. That's smart. Now that you're talking to Ace and you, within 4 or 5 minutes of trying to figure this whole thing out, start playing the road of, well, this is why I play these things so close to the chest and why it took me so long to trust him and why I feel like my trust is just
This made no
shattered.
sense either, by the way.
Because I'm a mom. And Ace is like, all right,
Cool.
whatever. Like, my mom was a single mom too. She
was
was
the
a
best
young
part.
single mom. Navigating dating is fucking difficult. What are you doing on the show, pretty much? What are you doing on this show? If
Away
this is
from
what
your
you're gonna
daughter
do?
for 2 months.
And I know for a fact, based on how Ace reacted to that without skipping a beat, Nick told him.
Oh, yeah,
Nick
he knew.
1,000% told Ace and already had this in there. Like, hey, by the way, Huda's mom. So maybe he did it in a way of like, let's go easy on her. Let's like not fucking crash out and
don't
like
know.
go crazy. I don't know what he would have done, but Ace definitely knew.
Yeah.
This was not news to him.
No, you could.
Or Shelly told him. That's
Somebody,
a whole other thing.
Ace knew, and I agree with that. But the conversation that I witnessed was him trying to explain the stance. Okay, this is why America voted this way.
Yep.
Because both of you are closed off. Both of you weren't allowing other connections to happen. Both of you are bringing the vibe down. What she hears and tries to flip is Jeremiah's the problem. Jeremiah caused all of this. Jeremiah lied to me. And her trying to use the defense of I got so close
Yep.
because I'm a mom makes no sense. That's backwards logic. You would think if that's the case, you would vet this guy for a much longer period of time before jumping into this thing as hard as you did.
Yep.
So her pulling the mom card there, I'm like, that doesn't apply. The way that you just described it does not apply here. And I think you're weaponizing motherhood. And I think that's horse shit. And like she does a lot of things I think are horseshit, but this conversation is the moment for me where I shifted from I feel kind of bad to oh she deserves it.
Yeah. Yeah, she deserves to feel this type of way. Now, again, until there's hard evidence to show, she's going to rationalize and manipulate some sort of narration to make it look like she's okay.
Yeah.
And it's Jeremiah that's the problem. That's what we're seeing in this episode. We see it the next episode too. The end of this, the spillover, whatever you want to call it. All of those things tend to happen. And obviously it culminates with her in the shower just screaming all of these things about
He's a
Jeremiah.
bitch, fuck that guy. He lied to me. That was the craziest part to me. I'm like, what did he lie about?
I don't think he
What are
lied
you
about
talking
anything. Like,
about?
yeah, did he love bomb you in the beginning? Sure. It's Love Island.
You love bombed him back.
You love bomb him back. People love bomb on this show. It's kind of what they do. Like, the only person who's not love bombing anybody is Ace. He's drawing lines in the sand and he's like,
reverse
fuck this.
Yeah,
He ain't doing shit.
What's interesting to me is that, again, I think that Jeremiah is hiding something. I don't trust him. And I'm not trying. This is going to come out like we're defending Jeremiah. I'm really not. But I do feel like a lot of the women were surprised at this whole thing. And I think with Alandria saying, America's clearly seeing something we're not. And she said that to Huda in regards to like, clearly they're looking out for you.
Right.
I don't know if I believe that they believe that. I think that's just
Landry
a
is
nice
very,
thing to say.
she's so smart and like she knows what's going on. I trust her more than probably anybody else in the house to get a feel for what's
Her and
going on.
Shelley probably.
Her and Shelly definitely talk a lot about what's going on, and I'm sure Taylor and Ace are probably privy to a lot of it that's going on. Nick seems to clock things pretty quickly as well.
Nick is smarter than he comes off.
Way smarter than he comes off.
give
He's
him
sitting
that.
back, and I guarantee you there's a lot more probably to Nick and Sierra than we're seeing. They seem to be on the same page with a lot of
I
shit.
like them a lot.
I like them a lot, and they're just kind of sitting back and watching a lot of things, and they get along with everybody in the house. There's not one person that can look and be like, even with Jeremiah, with Nick standing up and then going right to Jeremiah and saying, dude, like, what the fuck are you doing? This
He's
is
able
nuts.
to talk to him.
They're able to still be friends right afterwards. So, like, I agree with you. I think Nick's a lot smarter than he's letting on. So it'll be interesting to see where we are, and we'll get to the end of the episode 14 because it's chaos just fucking ensues.
Oh, yeah.
But the Islanders, the new couples, get a text,
Like
Which-
4 a.m,
which should have woken everybody up.
That's what I was
I'm
thinking.
sorry, but
Or
like-
maybe they heard it and they just like rolled over. The
No.
whole thing was interesting because then they're all like quietly leaving the room. I'm like, nobody hears this.
These people are like Pavlov's dog. Like, they hear that text message
Ding.
and they go, whoa. I got a text. Who got a text? What's going on? Like 4 a.m. I'm waking my ass up and jumping out of bed. Like, what's going on?
But I want to think that they didn't because
Three of them got texts.
It makes it much better what happens when they.
Yeah, no, it does. And I genuinely don't know how they did this, especially with like Huda, the way that she is. She probably didn't sleep that night. So you're telling me that like she didn't hear that? Whatever. We'll move past the text because I got stuck on that for a long time.
Yeah, we have way too much to talk about.
Everybody, all the recouples get up. They go outside. They're going on a nice little island beach date. Pack your bags, get the fuck out of there, and do not tell anybody. Get your asses on the boat.
Get to the dock.
All right. So we're missing 6 people. Huda wakes up before anybody else. Looks around. Where's Jeremiah? Where's Iris? Doesn't really focus on the fact that, Jalen and Alandria are both gone.
She doesn't even register that other people left.
Yeah, other people have left too. Nope. Okay. Goes over to Taylor.
Wakes him up.
Pokes him in the head.
What are you doing?
Did you see how she woke him up?
Yeah.
She gave him a couple of pokes to the head. Poor Taylor. I swear to God, this is how I think about this. They're probably telling ghost stories about Yulissa leaving the villa. Like, we woke up and she was gone. What happened?
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if producers even told her what the hell was going on. Taylor probably waking up in the middle of the night when it's still dark in there, getting poked in the head. He's like, fuck, I'm out. Somebody's kicking me out. I don't know what's going on. No, it's just crazy ass Huda poking me in the head to see where Jeremiah is.
He even says that later. He's like, she woke me up this morning. He's
Yeah.
talking to Nick. And they're like, really? He's like, yeah. Like, the whole thing was nuts.
Well, that was, I actually laughed my ass off at that because when everybody starts getting up and like figuring things out, they're trying to debrief. Taylor goes over, he's laying in bed with Nick and Sierra. And then Sierra gets up, half the other people get out. There's all these beds available. Nick and Taylor are laying in the same bed.
Yeah, as they should.
Boys are just hanging out. I love to see that shit. But yeah, I thought we were going to get a lot more. I thought they were really going to focus in on Jeremiah and Iris on this beach.
I wanted them to.
And they didn't really.
They gave me enough.
They gave me enough. Mostly it was just body massages with Alandria and Jalen.
Which, look, this date told me between this and their conversation thereafter about the date, sparks weren't there.
No chemistry.
Zero.
Zero chemistry. I have that note written down.
Jalen is a great dude.
Dude.
Big fan. What a nice guy.
Just such a nice guy. I feel horrible for that guy.
Me too.
When he gets his phone back and he gets to look at this, the initial reaction is not good. Who's this fucking guy? He's not attractive. I even said it the other day. These bombshells ain't bombshell and they're not hot. We need the dudes to be hotter. Jalen is such a nice guy. He's never been out of the country before.
Big teddy bear.
He gets his passport. He's excited to go to Fiji. He's telling everybody it's his first time out of the country. He makes a funny dance move. I don't know if you saw that on the way back on the boat. Just looking great. Really, really nice guy. Funny guy. I feel so bad for him.
So do I.
Feel awful for him.
He should not have had to leave. Spoiler.
Yeah, I felt so bad for Jalen.
Yep. But it gave me hope for something we're going to discuss later. But I will say what I liked about the beach scene, because what I was really concerned about was Jeremiah not being able to compartmentalize and not get into the game.
Yeah.
Like at this juncture, if he was still hung up on Huda and trying to figure that shit out, I would have lost my mind. The show would have lost a lot of luster for me. So I'm glad. And you see it when he's walking down to the boat with everybody. He's like dancing and shit. I'm like, oh, okay, like a little bit lighter today. Maybe we're going to have a good day. And him and Iris seemed to have a really good time. I got to give all the props to Iris between this episode and next episode. What a class act.
The way that she's navigating through that bombshell, that fucking cluster, unbelievable.
It's just
no idea how she's able to do that. How she's able to like just completely put all of that to the side and still tell Jeremiah, look, like you're also in the middle of this. It's not just me. So if we can navigate through this together, that would be great. And they're able to do it.
Yeah.
He didn't really talk about Huda. Like, yeah, they talked about the situation as like an overarching thing. But at the end of the day, they still shared some like intimate details about each other and tried to explore the connection.
Yep.
Which Jeremiah says, I'm excited to do this. He must have said that him and Huda are cooked like 15 times. But then they weren't cooked.
But that's when I started to get frustrated because I get back from the beach date. Vibes are high. Huda has been talking to everybody since they've been gone about Jeremiah and what a bitch he is and fuck that guy. He ain't shit. I don't need him, blah, blah, blah. They get back, and she runs to a beach chair, throws her shades on, and sits there as though she's been sitting there.
I'm so unbothered.
Just completely unbothered. Well, you look totally unbothered. Like, you look totally fine.
I don't know if you caught this. I caught this on TikTok, dude. Like, you should see my fucking TikTok. It's
We didn't talk about the fact that she listened to the whole conversation with the boys.
Oh, right. That was the night before.
Yes.
Yeah. Which then she lied about
I know.
the whole thing. Wait, no, that's later in the episode.
Is that this
That's
episode?
this episode, yeah.
Are you sure?
Positive, yeah.
Or is that episode
Then
14?
because she goes right from that to the girls and then goes up and talks to Iris.
All right, let's talk about that.
We'll talk about that in a second. We're almost there.
Okay.
Yeah, we just got back from the island. Huda,
The timeline got crossed. Okay, I see what you're saying.
just quickly on my TikTok, I have so much Love Island on my TikTok that I see videos. You know how like every once in a while you'll see a video and you'll be like, what the fuck is this on here for? It's got 1 like.
Yeah.
Why is this on here? And it's Love Island. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This is actually really funny. I'll like it. I hope this blows up. I will see it an hour, 3 hours later or whatever, and it'll have like 20,000 likes.
Nice.
So I am ahead of the curve here. I'm just going to start putting content out there.
Can you start making some TikToks then?
Well, I don't have access to our TikTok. You won't send me the goddamn password.
Here, do it right now.
Oh, yeah. Say it on the air.
Oh, that's actually a good point. Let me try to.
Just text it to me.
Okay.
But yeah, that's really funny. But I see so much of that shit. There was one thing about Huda, and there's another thing later with Jeremiah. Huda in her confessionals suddenly has like cuts and stuff around her knuckles.
Oh, you think she was punching
I
shit?
think she was punching shit.
Punching walls.
She was full crash out.
She
And
was.
That's the type of crash out that they probably won't show.
There was a few moments that she was uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
Listening to the guys was uncomfortable to watch. Pulling Iris was crazy work. That kind of stuff is what worries me about the future, like the next few episodes.
Yeah.
Because it needs to be reined in. Because you're fucking with the rest of the house. And like that's more episode 14, which I guess we're pretty much there. I don't know. What else
We're
do we have to
getting
talk
there.
about?
No.
Beach date. They're back from the beach date.
Yeah. We're almost there. When we do get back from the beach date, that's when we have, which I think Jeremiah did a good job. And this was very confusing.
Oh, this is when he
to me.
talks to the boys.
Him talking to the boys, trying to just be a little lighter. Obviously, Huda, I gotta run to the bathroom. Goes and sits on the steps, takes her shoes off, creeps back up. Like you can't
Crazy.
you cannot put a better scene in there. Like it was funny.
Oh yeah, I mean,
But listening to Jeremiah, he's going through the date with Iris, and he's like, "Look, like, yeah, I now I'm realizing like Huda and I don't think it's gonna work. Like just the way that it happened last night, the way that she's treating me. She said that I didn't check on her, so now that's a big point. Like she's coming after me when it happened to both of us. I didn't do anything. She's calling me a liar. All of these things. And now you know what? It was a really nice day to just get off the island and not be around all of this, not have to worry about her looking at me. As soon as he starts feeling a little lighter,
they shit on him.
they shit on him and they're like, "You didn't check on her last night. What are you doing?"
Nick.
And now he's like, whoa. Damned if I do, damned if I don't.
That was Team Jeremiah.
You guys are telling me that I need to explore connections. You're telling me that all I did was immediately come in here and get closed off day one. I'm now exploring connections, and you're telling me I need to go check on my last connection? What the fuck is that?
I'm with you.
I'm so with Jeremiah in this situation. I'm like, he must feel like so gaslit in every conversation that he has that it's so tough to distinguish, like, what am I supposed to do at this point? Like, this is when I started feeling bad for Jeremiah. I'm like, he doesn't know which way's up.
I
He
agree.
can't do anything right.
And I think that what helped him out significantly is because he says that exact line. He's like, you guys tell me to go explore. I start exploring.
Yep.
Now you're pissed off at me. That's when she decides to depart from the fake wall that she was standing behind. And she's like, explore all you want. Fuck you. And like flips him off and walks away. I think
Pussy ass bitch.
I think in that exact moment, Nick and anyone else that had an issue with him not checking on her was like, never mind.
That's how that conversation would have gone.
They're like, never mind, dude. You're good.
Like, she wants Jeremiah to stand up to America.
Yeah.
She wanted him in that moment to come up and stand next to her and say, "Fuck you, America.
Yeah.
You're not sending my baby home. I'm going home with her."
Yeah, the millions of people watching this, there's no way that all of you clock something that I don't see. Like, what the fuck? But that's when she goes across the way and starts venting to the other couch. And
lying.
Completely mistells what happened. What he
It's
said.
not a mistell, straight lies.
Just lies about what he said and how he said it and what the boys were talking about. And I'm like, wow, you're certifiable in this moment. And what the problem is, and I think that, again, just because of time and how long this has been going on and people able to observe, and then the fact that America chimed in, I do think that the Alandria, Shelley connection, they'll talk about that. I think they'll put 2 and 2 together with how Huda's moving now and be like, maybe Jeremiah is not the problem.
Yeah.
Because, like, how can you sit there and listen to her after listening to that and believe everything she's saying?
Well, my favorite is, like, obviously when she goes over to the girls, she's lying about what he says, saying that he was telling the rest of the boys, I'm just going to go with Iris now because this is my best chance to stay on the show.
Yeah.
He didn't say that.
No.
I don't think they're even allowed to say that.
I don't think anybody would be dumb enough to say that.
Not something that anybody on this show would say under any circumstances.
Austin wouldn't even say that, and he's about as smart as a pool noodle.
Yeah.
No offense, Austin.
I can't wait for him and Amaya's conversation. But my favorite part about all of this is the 3 bombshells sitting above them.
Oh, God.
While this is all going on, we've got Jalen, Pepe, and Iris all sitting there just kind of debriefing. They've only been there for a day. They don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yep.
And they look down and they're like, should we go down there? And Jalen goes, hell no.
Yeah, that's poor Jalen. Bring him back. Cost
I
him more
feel
Jalen.
so bad for Jalen. But yeah, when he said hell no, I'm like, that is the right approach. You stay the fuck out of that. You do not. And of course, Iris is like, I'm not really close to the girls. I like the guys, whatever. Like, I don't think they're going to protect me. She's just going to go off on me. I'm going to stay up here, stay out of sight.
Iris literally goes, this is kind of crazy. I don't really know how to navigate this.
And she, for not knowing how to navigate it, she handled it so well because Huda goes on a tear. You know what? Fuck that. I'm going to go pull her. I'm going to pull Iris, and we're going to talk about this date. When she storms off, and you've got Pepe and Jalen sitting there, everybody kind of clocks it like,
Bad.
should we hang nearby?
Yes.
Because this is dangerous. And at least because, they felt a little uncomfortable, I got to give the 2 of them props. They went right down, walked over to the girls and like, hey, she's on fire right now. She's going after Iris. It's just the 2 of them up there. She's got her isolated. Can you guys just go?
Yeah.
And they go immediately. All of them go and go sit with her, which
They
is
shouldn't have let her go initially, but
Yeah.
it's good that they went in and to get some support.
Fucking conversation. It is so funny. Like, this is truly everybody who was starting to feel bad around this time. Like, oh God, like maybe we did something wrong. She's mentally unstable. This is going to ruin everything. It's these moments that make it all worth it.
Correct.
How was your date today? What'd you guys do?
That's not how she asked at all, but yeah.
How was your date today? What'd you guys do? It was chill, we just kind of talked. We went and sat on the beach. My perfect date.
Oh, yeah.
He knows that.
Oh, my God.
Yes, because the producers asked Jeremiah, what do you want to do with Iris? And he said, Huda's perfect date is sitting on the beach and talking. So we're going to go sit on the beach and chat.
It's that kind of shit when she says, oh, my perfect date. When she gets so up in arms that Jeremiah slept in the same bed as Iris, it's like, that's the show, dude.
God.
She can go sleep in Soul Tide. No.
I was so close to calling that out too. Because
What?
when we talked about it the other day, I'm like, I need them to split so that she forces him to get out of bed and go sleep in Soul Ties and kicks Ace out. That's what I needed the most last week. And we got close to it. But he didn't budge. He doesn't want to. He knows, and that's, I think, what's going on. And he is really conflicted. In the back of his head,
I don't think he's that conflicted.
I think he's conflicted. I think that he's weirdly, he's stuck in that toxic relationship, but also something in his brain is saying, don't do that. Don't, make sure you separate from her.
So I think that because he's on camera, I think he doesn't want to come off as somebody that led her on or that he is the villain in that relationship.
He already did. He has to do damage control.
I know, but I think that that's what his mindset is. And I think that that's where you see the moments of him going to check on her and still giving it some kind of life.
Yeah.
I really truly think that in his heart of hearts, he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go explore Iris.
Yeah.
That's what I really think. But I think that he's nervous that the optics are going to be bad.
Mm-hmm. But also, the way that Huda is taking it out on Iris, who, by the way, during this conversation, handled it as well as you could.
Way better
For
than
somebody
I would.
who is that manic and that crazy.
If a dude came up and asked me the same questions, I would have slapped him in the face.
Yeah, so the way that she was able to handle it, very calm, cool, and collected, until the rest of the girls got there, she held her own, and you got to applaud that.
I even
for sure.
sympathized with her.
But the way that Huda was talking about her, she's going to the other girls, and she's like, you know what? I don't even like Iris. She moves weird. What do you mean?
She's not a girl's girl.
She just got here last night.
She's playing the game.
And America said, hey, you got to go couple up with this guy. All right. What do you want her to do? Leave?
That's
So,
the
like-
thing. You gotta, like, at one point chalk it up to, oh, she's playing the game.
Yeah.
It's fucking dumb.
But yeah, after that, and you already talked about this, they go and get ready for the night.
Yeah.
They got to go have their little social hour. On the way out, Jeremiah sprays his cologne
Psycho.
on her bed.
Yeah, and that's where he
I
loses.
think it's a
sympathy.
nice move. You don't think it's a nice move, guys? No,
Why?
dude.
So she
Are you fucking
smells the pillow?
nuts?
That was nuts.
That was insane.
That was some serial killer
For
shit.
what happened from the whole day to her creeping around the corner and then calling you a bitch, then going after Iris, who is just doing her job, to then go, you know what? That was kind of cute. I'm going to spray my cologne. It's a nice gesture. It's not. It's
psycho.
psychotic.
It is actually psychotic.
It is psychotic. So as soon as that happened, I'm like, nope, don't feel bad for Jeremiah anymore. That's how that's going to go. And their conversation, which takes place over pretty much the bridge of the episodes,
In the speakeasy.
in the speakeasy,
That shit was
like you
insane.
said, was nothing. It was nothing at all. The only real thing of note, which this is another thing that got picked up on. You remember he was twirling a ring in his hand?
Yeah.
It was Iris's ring.
Love that.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that.
Iris's ring. So they must have, maybe she gave it to him on the beach.
Nice.
Maybe they had a good conversation. He said, I like that ring. She said, here, I got a couple of them. Go ahead.
Hell yeah.
Dude, the fucking investigative journalism that happens on this show is awesome.
Which I appreciate.
People, like, it was legitimately, and I wish I could find the TikTok. It was just one girl that said, I know I've seen that ring before. And it did look like a girl's ring. And they kind of like focused in on it at some point, which was a little weird. You can see Iris has like 3 and then she has 2. So it's like she gave him one.
I like that.
It was kind of cute.
But that conversation gave me agita. Like,
Yeah.
it was so frustrating to listen to because she once again puts all of the blame on him. She takes no accountability. She speaks on behalf of America and says, even they saw the way that you were treating me and they didn't like it. It's like, oh, you are in for the rudest awakening ever. And I don't trust people that can't take any accountability.
Nope.
If
Not
you
at all.
can't at least take a smidgen, which, by the way, the majority is you.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't give a little bit and say, you know, I'm sorry for this, like, I don't trust you and I don't like you. And like, that's the other part where I'm actually somewhat convinced she has borderline personality disorder because of the victim role that she plays so hard. This whole thing is her trying to look as victimized as humanly possible to make him feel bad so that she has him back on a leash.
Yep.
That's what she's trying to do. She's trying to get him so far into a corner that the rest of his time here is him, quote unquote, trying to make up for what he did wrong. That's fucking scary.
Yeah.
That's manipulative, and that's what those kinds of people do.
Yeah.
And the whole time that they kept going back into this speakeasy, I'm like, just get up and run. Why
Yeah.
are we still doing this
Yeah, we
conversation?
need to be done with it. We need to be, even this conversation and the one that they have the next morning where they're sitting there together.
I hated that one
And
more.
Jeremiah comes to the conclusion. I came to an epiphany last night. I think we just, we skipped the best friend part. We need to go back to that. So we're going to backtrack. And like,
I kind of understood what he was
sounds
saying.
reasoning.
It's like, yeah, that makes
in
sense.
a crazy situation like that, what else are you going to do? The fact that he's even trying to make an effort anymore, which you accuse him of not making any efforts, he's still trying to make an effort. He could easily wash his hands and move on.
What did she say in the speakeasy? She's like, I told you what I needed from, and she's doing that too. She's clapping her hands. I told you that I needed more effort.
Everybody else in the villa, they're doing stuff. They're not.
No.
Ace is running around for Shelly. They're probably dating in the real world, by the
Austin
way.
hasn't done shit for Shelly the entire time.
Austin, it's mostly Shelly doing stuff for Austin, trying to
Yes.
make him feel better about being in a love triangle.
Correct.
Sierra and Nick, they just hang out and chat all day.
Yep.
That's all they do. Taylor is also in a love triangle, and he's handling it okay by being very quiet. He made the right move the night before because he took her to the photo booth, Alandria to the photo
it was
booth.
cute.
And it was a cute little kiss. I'm still not convinced, but, cute
don't
little
care.
kiss.
I don't care.
I like Taylor better for Alandria than I do like Jalen. So that's, at least we got to that point.
I'll take that win.
Yeah. But like the rest of the house isn't doing a whole lot. This was the episode of, and there's a few moments in there, and obviously we'll pretty much just jump to the end. There's a few moments in this episode where things happen and it's noteworthy and funny. All of the episode is everybody sitting around watching Huda and Jeremiah. Everybody sitting around talking about Huda, talking about what's going on. Like, fuck, like, what are we supposed to do? Huda's clocking it and staring them back down.
No, Huda thinks that they're like supportively gazing
know.
upon her, and she
Yeah.
gives like a pose. I'm like, you lunatic.
They're calling you crazy.
Literally. And that's when Jeremiah goes over and gets a yoga mat, doesn't even unroll it. He's like, oh, pretending to work out, and starts talking to her. That's when he dropped the line that you just talked about, where it's like, hey, I think we went too fast.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. Again, sound reasoning.
Sound reasoning.
It is some kind of way forward, and a very confusing thing and a very toxic thing, but it is some kind of path forward.
Yep.
She wasn't having it at all.
No, and this is probably conversation 5 or 6 where I thought Jeremiah was being nice, or
Yeah.
there was a conversation that they had, which we didn't even talk about like an episode or 2 ago, where he was talking about his conversation with Iris, and she was like, why'd you get pulled by Iris? And he's like, look, I mean, like, we had a tough morning. I was just kind of talking to her about that, but I said, you're my girl. And she stopped him, and I'm like, oh, fuck. You said she's your girl? Like, she's going to latch onto that. She didn't. She called him out for sharing information.
Never talk about our problems, ever.
Like,
Never
what?
fucking talk. That's the other thing. She cusses at him all the time. Like, that's not how you talk.
And that's what
to
she
him.
does in this conversation, too. Again, you and I agree. For the situation, pretty sound reasoning.
Sure.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
She takes it the worst way. And everybody's like, oh, God, here we go again. Are they going to couple back up? No, she's going to stand up and take her shoes off and then like throw shit around and scream at him and call him a bitch again.
Well, her big thing is she says to him, like, these are the things that I need so that, like, I know that you like me, more or less. And I agree with him in saying the goal here is not to convince you that I like you. The goal is for us to get on the same page finally and not have this toxic fucking relationship. But he says that, which everybody that heard the conversation knows what he was referencing.
Yeah.
He wasn't saying, I don't want to like you.
No.
But she gets up and tells everybody that's sitting and watching that he said that he doesn't even want to try to like you. And then he said, or that's later, I guess. I won't.
Oh, about Iris, yeah.
And everyone there, like Taylor sitting next to her, rolling her eyes, they progressively just get up and leave the area. And she still can't see which way is
The
up.
Taylor reaction shots are so fucking
He's
good.
just
Like,
sitting with his hat down.
I do not care. Like, I will concede him and Alandria if it means that Taylor gets to stay there and make faces.
I'll take that.
Because the way that he looks at people, like him going back and forth, Nick raising his eyebrows, everybody's like, what the fuck's going on? And the best part about that conversation is we then bounce over to Jeremiah talking to Austin about this, kind of like debriefing. And then Alandria comes over.
She's like, what the fuck did you do?
Alandria comes over and goes, what the fuck did you do now? What's going on? And he tells her the truth. He's like, look, I don't fucking know. Like, we are so cooked. Cooked, brother. And he does like the sketch voice. And then they go into her having a kid, and Austin goes, wait, she has a kid?
Yeah, that was funny.
Wait, what do you mean she has it? They're like, fuck. And that's the second time that Alandria has done that.
Yep.
Talking about shit in front of the person that you're not supposed to talk about it in front. But that was so funny too. You go back to Huda, who was just blasting everybody with her problems. They all slowly just start getting up and leaving.
Just slowly
Like,
leave.
hey, we're going to get the fuck out of here. We can't do this ananymore.
This kind of sucks a lot. So,
Yeah.
like, see ya.
And really, and before we get into the coupling,
Recoupling.
the recoupling. The only other thing of note pretty much this whole day is Austin and Amaya rekindling, which is good.
I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, we all have, because I'm tired of Austin just getting like the pity sympathy from Shelly. You're coupled up with her. You guys aren't going anywhere. You both really like each other and you can be friends, but like friends.
Even in her confessionals, when she's like, you know, I do want to explore this with Austin. Like, we have this connection. I'm like, no, you don't. What?
You really don't. You guys can be friends for sure.
There is no sexual chemistry. There's no tension. There's none of that there.
I haven't seen you guys kiss. Like,
He's not on the same level as her, like intellectually, all of those things that you need to foster like a really good. I'm not saying I hate Austin.
no, not at all. It's
I'm just like him and Amaya are on the same exact wavelength.
like when they're talking, it was like middle schoolers.
Oh my
chatting.
God, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I said that to Dev. I was like, this is what happens when middle schoolers flirt.
Yeah. It's
hey.
legitimately middle schoolers just sitting there like, whoa, tell me about your family.
We're strong.
That's so cool. I can't wait to be a dad.
I'm going to be
You're going to be such a good dad.
You
It's like,
pick me
what
up?
is going on?
Yay!
I can't wait for you guys to couple up and like, that's going to be great. But this is so funny
It's awesome.
to go from all of the Huda shit to this. It's like, this is Love Island for idiots. This is great.
It is.
This is what we want.
There's something endearing about it, but I
is.
swear to God, I verbatim said the same
Yeah.
thing you just said because that's what it felt like. When he moves a fucking like beach chair, she's like, "You're so strong."
All he did was move it an inch.
It's like, yeah,
I work out.
yeah, I work out.
Yeah.
Like they're. I've been saying this since their first conversation when he was all
Yeah.
giggly and shit. I'm like,
They kissed, yeah.
they're on the same level. Like they need to be together. They make a lot of sense.
They understand each other when we don't understand them.
Correct. That's the biggest
Yeah.
thing. And like when you compare that and those conversations to what we see with Austin and Shelley, Austin and Shelley, it feels like Shelley's trying to not hurt his feelings.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really what it is because she knows at the end of the day she's just going to couple up with Ace at some point and they're going to keep moving. The thing that I talked to you about before we started recording this, somebody found a video of Ace teaching people from Pakistan how to dance,
yeah.
which we've talked about before. But this was a very specific video around Valentine's Day in which he had the people on the Zoom say, "Happy Valentine's Day, Shelley." This is in February. So are we being bamboozled? Are there scammers on the island? Is this Scammer Island now?
I don't know.
I don't like it. I don't care for it. But unless we find out more about that, we don't really get to really dig into that one. But the recoupling.
Let's get to the
Ariana
recoupling.
comes out. It seems so early, and I have a theory about why it
I have a
happened
theory
so quick.
too.
My theory is producers see what's
The
going
Huda
on,
problem, right?
and they say, we're giving you the option, guys. She is ruining your time at Love Island. Do you want her out? Here you go.
That's what I think too.
Go ahead.
I think it was an impromptu, like, oh shit, we need a recouple.
Because the way that it happens, the way that it worked at the end, everybody online is just claiming that the producers are just pushing this forward. They can't really do that. So I don't think that's obviously that's the low hanging fruit. People are going to go for
that
it
comes in because of Ace's comment.
because of Ace's comments and like all that. But like, we'll get into the recoupling. Obviously, get the easy ones out of the way.
Yeah.
Pepe, go over to Hannah. She's forgotten all about Charlie. Poor Charlie.
Charlie who?
Exactly. Pepe and Hannah, strong connection. Let's go. Nick and Sierra, there you go. Great job. When we start getting into the, I don't really know how this is going to go. Austin shows up, doesn't go to Shelley. He's tired of the love triangle. Amaya's door is open. Isn't that lovely?
She was so excited too behind the door.
She was so happy to be chosen.
Yeah.
He was happy to have somebody that chose him. Everybody was happy for them. Like this whole event, people were genuinely happy for each other because right after that, it's like Ace walks up. Oh, you are coupled with Amaya, but you can't anymore. No longer, brother. Can't do that. Not around here. Funny.
That's all
Good
good.
time. Go ahead. You get Shelley, not Iris.
Really?
Perfect. Poor Jalen.
Well, I needed Jalen to go before Jeremiah, and Jeremiah obviously couldn't.
Well,
go last
Jalen gets the honors because he is currently coupled up.
Yeah, and it was tough, but like this was my gut feeling, not just because I'm Team Taylandria for life, which we had a big win, no big deal, but just watching them, and like the thing I've also noticed, and I'll give Ace credit here, is that when the dudes talk, a lot of times they don't ask anybody questions. Dev pointed this out too.
Yeah.
Ace is really good about asking actual questions.
Yeah, he is.
A lot of dudes do this. After there's a date or an event, they check in to see how that person felt about the date or event, which to me comes off as really fucking insecure.
Yeah, it's very insecure.
Because that's what Jalen's conversation was like. What'd you think about the date yesterday?
Yeah.
Like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
And it just comes off as it's not a real talking point. You're just recapping.
Yeah,
You're doing what we do.
It's not really. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. So Ace sitting down with Taylor to try to light a fire under his ass. Like, this is what's going to happen. You better go do it. Taylor starts doing it. You can see that right away where they have a different chemistry. Jalen and her, the body massage thing, it was nice, but there's just simply nothing there.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, and we did have to see poor Jalen go over and the doors locked.
how respectful was he when he left?
He was so respectful, and he goes and stands up, He has to go stand in front of everybody. Poor Jalen just standing there by himself. Didn't get the door. Taylor gets the door. Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it. All right, we're great.
I jumped out of bed.
Jumped out of bed, and we get to Jeremiah, who's got the choice between Iris and Huda. Both of them standing behind the door. I could have sworn I saw Iris unlock the door at the last second. So, I don't know.
No. I don't think so.
I don't think so,
Because
but
the way that she was sitting
but
there.
it was just a simple little twist
I
thing.
know, but
Just
the way
looking at
the way that she was sitting in there initially, before, which you may or may not have seen,
Yeah.
made it seem pretty apparent that like she had this door open
Yeah.
because she looked uneasy. She looked nervous.
Yeah. Well, who knows?
That's like Alandria gave it away that she wasn't going to pick Jalen because
Yeah.
the look on her face.
The look on her face,
yeah.
she couldn't even look at the door. But Huda's confessional. He's got two options. Option A, he really does care about me, and this is his time to show it. Option B, he never gave a shit about me. It's like, well, there's something in between there, but we're not going to get into that with you. Jeremiah,
Well, something to note
go ahead.
is we forgot to talk about in the speakeasy conversation, and you can tell what he was trying to do. He was trying to appease Huda. He said, Iris isn't even my type.
Yeah,
Okay, that's an important
that
thing.
is an important note for right after this because Jeremiah does pick Iris.
I was so happy.
Everybody was shocked and excited and happy. You could have thought that all the tension in the village just disappeared because Huda's not actually outside yet. She's still sitting behind her door on the ground sobbing.
Just keep it locked.
Just keep it locked. Don't even go out there. She has to go out and face the music. Is she going to do it honorably?
No.
No. You, of course, picked the safest option. You didn't even want to sleep in bed with her. You're not even attracted to her. He doesn't give a shit about you. He just wants to stay on.
He said that she's not even his type, blah, blah, blah.
Like, Jesus Christ. And Austin starts cracking up, which this was a good Austin moment. Ariana clocks it. Austin, what are you laughing at? It's just fucking insane. Like,
Yeah.
This is just nuts. Like, where are we really doing this? Like, okay, cool.
Well, the funniest part is Jalen in that moment goes, talk your shit.
Yep.
I'm like,
Hey, there you go.
the writing's on
The other
fucking
part
wall.
of this is, and we did talk about the night before the spraying of the cologne, there were like little like videos and stuff, and like maybe he just wasn't set on an outfit, but Jeremiah did have a shirt on that would have matched Huda.
Ooh.
And then he took it off and switched to light blue, which is what Iris was
was
wearing.
wearing.
And he said, I'm going to meet her at the bottom of the stairs and like grab her. And they were like, oh, wow.
I
really?
noticed
He's like,
that.
He's
He
like, yeah,
hugged
but
her
I'm
when she
coupled
came
up.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting too. But this was just like, okay, here we go. This is the final. Somebody's going home. How are we going to do this? My first thought was, if there's a way for us to vote, please let us vote.
Oh, that would have been a bloodbath.
There wasn't.
Because-
There just isn't.
That's what I was talking about, like when we started the episode. Chronologically, there was a way for this to work out perfectly,
Yep.
right? And that would have been with the departure of Huda, because you got Huda and Jalen
Yep.
are up there, and the rest, they vote not as, that was confusing. So you vote as a couple, but not really as a couple. So
She calls you out as a couple, but you can go where you need to.
right. And so I figured it would shake out a certain way. I was like, all right, well, the dudes are probably going to support the dudes. I imagine the ladies are going to support the ladies.
And then the breaker. So I thought the breaker
Was going to be Iris.
No, I thought the breaker was going to be. Well, I figured that Iris would have gone, but I figured, like Pepe may have gotten behind. Or no, I guess he probably would have gotten behind. At some point, I figured it was going to be tied, and the breaker was going to be Alandria, because she was the one who's now like looking at Huda like, all right, this is a lot. Are we really doing this? So I thought maybe she could finally be that like final nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
This didn't go how anyone thought it was going to go.
No, not even remotely. The complete disarray in numbers. I didn't think it was going to be a landslide like that. And of course, we have to bring up Ace goes over to Huda's side, which was
With
baffling.
Shelly, yep.
Baffling to me. And my theory with that is that he doesn't want to, because the big theory out there right now is that producers told Ace that he had to go to Huda's side.
Yeah.
Because Huda reaches out to hold his hand and he goes, hell no. And there is a lot of speculation that this was intervention via production.
Yep.
The other thing, I don't know if he wanted to disagree with Shelly the first moment that they're together.
I think it's probably a combination. He looked pissed that he
He
was
was
over there.
livid.
But there is a third part in here.
Is that the loyalty to the OGs?
It's no. It's proving a point against Jeremiah. he might still be on that tangent of I need to show Jeremiah just how wrong he was.
Well, he's not the arbiter of
That
truth. here.
he thinks he might be. So it could be that. I think it's probably a combination of he wants to protect Taylor. He wants to get, Alandria's other love interest out of the house so he can protect Taylor. He's his boy.
Okay.
Fine, sure. He wants to be behind Shelley. It's, their first moment as a couple together. Fine, sure. But that hell no, when she reaches out, he's like, fuck no.
That caused
I'm doing this for a different reason. It could be as simple as to say he's just backing up Shelley. I don't know. But either way, that completely changed the whole tone.
Yep.
Because on Jalen's side, you do have Nick is over there. And
The most important one that's over there is Jeremiah.
Yeah, and Jeremiah's over there who's like, yeah, fuck, like
Get her the
we
fuck
need
outta
to get
here.
her out of here so I can move on with my life. And instead, obviously, all the girls go over, including Iris. And it's like, what's going on
That was the best
here?
move that Iris could have done.
Yeah, and
That threw
like you
everything
said,
that
yeah.
Huda said back in her face and said,
Right
"Fuck
back in
you."
her face. And then, of course, Iris, a little bit of a breakdown after all of this. Huda remains. Jalen goes home. Feel really bad for Jalen. I can't say that enough.
Casa Amor.
Casa Amor, bring him back. He deserves love too. Or at least just keep him out of the country for a little bit longer. Like, for the love of God, he just got out of the country for the first time. He's been here for 3 days.
Yeah, he's stoked. Come on.
Let him hang.
Please?
Let him hang. Send him to another island. Let him go relax.
Oh, send him over to Survivor.
No, that's not fun.
Oh, okay.
That's
Sorry.
awful.
I'm just saying, trying to figure out a way to keep him there.
Oh, I'm just saying send him to like another nice island, like a resort.
Okay.
You're like, put him through the fucking
I figured, well, no, if they can't.
starve him.
No, I'm saying if they can't keep him there for financial reasons,
Oh,
then
yeah,
send him
yeah.
to Survivor, so at least he gets to stay in Fiji
Live
and
off the
compete
land.
and maybe win a lot of money.
He might actually be able to do that. Who knows? Maybe he took off enough time. But yeah, like you said with Iris, that was a really good move because right afterwards, and this is manipulated by Huda.
So
course.
manipulative. And
This
she
is
made it about
not
her again, too. Thanks for seeing something in me. Shut up. How do you make this about you?
God, dude. Iris seems so nice too. And she's like, look, everybody deserves to find their person. I don't want you to leave because of all of this going on. Whatever. I don't know where the fuck we stand because it looks like scenes from from Thursday night are pretty much where we were before. People still complaining about Huda. I don't want to hear.
You hear like it's the last straw, this, that.
I don't want to hear your complaints. You guys had an opportunity. And of course, the people who are complaining about Huda are the ones who voted for her.
That's crazy.
So this is your problem.
But I think, again, I'll chalk it up to the lack of intel that they have as far as what America voted for.
Right.
Why they voted that
So
way.
when we get to tweet night, they'll have more context.
Yeah, but
Maybe, and that's where, like, if you are claiming producers, there could be something there. That's the only thing that I'll give you evidence for, is they do want her there long enough to see the tweets.
potentially, yeah.
That is a crash out waiting to happen, and they think that that's going to do numbies, which it will, by the way.
Definitely do
I don't know if
numbers.
you saw, but there's like 1 billion fucking minutes watched or something of this show in like 4 days.
That's not surprising.
Like it's really taking over. So they're looking at those numbers like, shit, yeah, this is great. The other thing is, before we get to questions, I'm probably going to get in trouble for some of my memes at some point. 'Cause
Oh.
I am obsessed with making memes about this show.
Fucking post them.
I did. You just don't look at our profile.
Post them, not story
No,
post
I'm not
them.
posting them. That'll be worse.
Why?
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing it this way. But yeah, at some point I'm probably gonna. I already kind of shook it up a little bit with
W?
W.
That was funny.
The scapegoat. God, that's the other part about the scapegoat thing. She's not even using scapegoat correctly.
No.
Like, that's not how that works.
Not just that you said it wrong, it doesn't apply in the situation in which you applied it to, that irritates me too. That's a different story for a different day.
Yeah.
But where I don't know, dude. It's just,
We'll say. I mean, look, that's the good thing about this show. We do not have to wait long to find out what happens.
and we're not even halfway through the season yet.
God,
so
we're not
like,
even close. We're not
there's
even
a lot.
We're not
more
even a
that's gonna
quarter of
happen.
the way through
Yeah, I
the
know,
season.
which I'm stoked about. But that just goes to show you that, like, even if this disaster carries on for another 3 or 4 episodes, we will probably not think about it by the end of this whole thing. I just need some kind of movement, and I'm cool with one more crash out episode where everyone comes to the realization, like, oh, she's the fucking problem.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay with that, but 2 of those, that's gonna grind
I
my
agree.
gear.
Let's get to some questions here.
Sure.
From Amanda Rose Chase, is it good enough to sit through? Should I watch it? Yes.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna binge, and you better start now because you got 14 hours to catch
A lot
up.
to catch up on before tomorrow night. A lot of people just asking why Ace kept Huda. We don't really know.
We'll get an explanation, whether we believe it or not. There's no way that's not the first thing talked about next week or tomorrow. I thought it was going to be such a chore to do this every night. I get sad on Wednesdays because it's not on.
I know. From Dana Dwyer, justice for Jalen. I know that's not a question, but I just needed to shout that out.
Agreed.
Us too.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
J for J.
From Holy Beck's Batman, how loud did you scream at the TV for dumb Islanders saving Hurricane Huda? I screamed louder when Jeremiah picked Iris. It was more of a what the fuck is
I was a
on?
woo when he
Yeah.
picked Iris. When I didn't scream, I was more befuddled, and then I had to check my phone because Shooter texted me that exact moment.
Yeah.
He said, what did he say, unreal?
I think I asked if you were watching first and then said unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, Jesus. From Diana and Jerry. Get these videos out quicker. Love Island fans like our recaps a day late at most. What do you want us to do, Diana?
That's not going to happen.
This
Sorry.
is not going to happen.
Yeah, we have to group them all together. So
Can't do this.
Why are you yelling?
Because I'm mad.
No, I was asking why Diana and Jerry's yelling at us.
Oh. Well, it wasn't in all caps, so I don't think she was yelling.
I take it as a yell. We're doing our best here. We also have to watch like 6 other shows.
Jamie Gibbs is with Steele. I think that Taylandria is cute.
Fuck yeah, let's go Taylandria for life. You guys want to get on the right side of history? I'm going to ride this train till the end. I'm going to be right. There's something there, something real. It's palpable.
Yep. From Jazz and A, did you scream when Austin chose Amaya too? I was so happy for them.
I was stoked. That just
Our
makes
little
sense.
middle schoolers just getting together, having a good time.
Can you pick me up? I can pick you up. Whee!
From James Colleen, why is nobody concerned about the herpes? I don't fucking know.
We don't know. We talked about that last
Everybody's
episode.
got it now.
Yeah, I get maybe that's why no one's concerned. It's like at this point we're all fucked.
I guess it's like you have to sign a waiver. Like you're probably going to get herpes during this. But
What
like,
if they all just checked off that box and they checked in?
we
like,
all
cold
have
sores?
it?
Yes.
Yeah. God.
Yes.
Wait, somebody said, sorry, I promise I'll stop submitting. I think you should leave themed questions. Don't.
Never stop doing
Jesus,
that.
where is this question? Oh, from April Champs. Who on the cast is just here for the zip line?
I've thought about that
That's
before.
great.
On this show specifically.
I mean, Austin is obviously like, he would ride a zip line all day if he could. But I think he is genuinely looking for a little connection here. I don't know, to be honest. I think Pepe right now, he doesn't strike me as like he's really into it.
I don't know. I think Pepe just plays it cool. I
Yeah,
think
maybe.
that's his move. And like I will say
He came out
again,
so strong, like kicking Charlie out of the kitchen, and now it's just like, well, this is safe, I guess.
he might feel bad.
Yeah, he might.
And he may, and that's the other thing. Give him a 1 episode buffer because the
Yeah.
awkwardness of like having to court a woman that just sobbed over another dude leaving has to be kind of awkward.
Yeah. Oh yeah, from Kay Lookerwoods. I'm assuming you've seen Shelly and Ace are apparently dating outside the villa already. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If that comes out and we have hard evidence, they have to remove them from the villa.
Immediately.
You can't. That can't work.
Immediately.
Yep.
Maybe that's why she was holding on so strong to the Austin connection that made no sense.
Yep.
To throw people off. Ooh, wait a minute. I think that's what happened. I think that because it was fishy from the jump. It was fishy when they knew each other and they claimed that they only knew each other through Instagram, but they had met in person when they were walking by that bar in New York. That story didn't check out for me. Fast forward to get the video of him teaching Pakistani people how to dance.
Yep.
And then he says, say hi to Shelly in that video. The whole time that Austin and Shelly have been coupled up. It's
Yeah.
never made sense to me when we get to the recouplings, why they keep going back to each other, why Shelly speaks so highly of their conversations, but everything we've witnessed has been very surface level and it's her
Yeah.
driving the whole thing. So I do believe now that Ace and Shelly are in cahoots, and I believe that she was keeping Austin this entire time to try to throw people off the scent.
Scammers.
Yep,
We hate scammers here.
that's where I am now.
I'll do 2 more. Yeah, that's more of the same. From Mad Walb, was this recoupling more cinematic? Just the shot of Jeremiah and Huda behind the closed doors. Yeah, I will say that this was a very cinematic type of recoupling. That shot of Iris's door opening while Huda just collapses was, God, it's the picture for our questions tonight,
Oscar
but
worthy,
just unbelievable.
Emmy worthy, whatever.
And this is a good think piece from XOXO Stephanie Lynn. Love the drama. Do you feel like shows like this contribute to the toxic dating world, though? Probably.
I have no idea. I haven't been in the
Steele's
dating
been
world
married.
for a long time.
And I am too old to do anything like that. So
I will say this:
fucking no.
if the dating pool is all of these wacky fucking games that everyone plays with each other, I wasn't into that shit back
Yeah.
when I was single. I don't like the game. The game is stupid to me.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, good app.
Yeah, great app.
Good job,
Great two apps.
everybody.
And yeah, we will stay tuned, obviously, and we will keep you all updated as we go along. Our next episode will be Thursday, Friday, Saturday's recap. Or is it Thursday, Friday, Sunday?
Thursday, Friday, Sunday.
Saturday's after sun.
Yeah, so we'll do that on Monday when I am back from my little trip.
I get back on Monday as well from Tejas, and you're going to Nashville. So look out for Shooter in Nashville if you're down there.
Got a matching set. I told you about.
Yeah,
this.
I'm excited,
Really
for
about
you.
it.
Yeah, I'm a big
It's gonna be
matching set
98
guy.
degrees there on Saturday.
Oh God,
I know.
it's supposed to be the set. Poppy's got her regional softball.
It's gonna be hot down there.
It's gonna be like 99.
God, dude.
Yeah, dude.
We'll be sweating.
It's gonna be a
If
scorcher.
you guys think about us this weekend, just know we're sweating.
Yeah, no, really, really hot.
Yeah.
And the temperature's hot too.
Hey.
Hey now. You got anything else?
Nope.
That's our show. Bros gotta go.